Hello, my lovely people. It's Friday, which means it's time for our weekly Swan Roundup. You know, that's what they actually call it when the city does their, I don't know, is it annual or biannual? They do a Swan Roundup and they gather all the swans around Lake Morton and they do like a health check and I'm not sure what else they do. Honestly, I see it announced on social media. I think they allow volunteers. I should probably volunteer at this point. I feel like I should, but honestly, I'm a little scared of swans. They can be a little aggressive. I know because we've been down there. We like to go feed the ducks. Bo especially. Bo loves. Do y'all know that? You probably don't know that. Bo loves animals, and he especially loves to feed the ducks. Um, but the swans scare me a tiny bit. I know they're not as bad as geese, but I won't even go near a goose. My goodness. But anyway, how is everyone? Hello. I see. Oh, Karen's here. Laura, the paid ladies. I like it. I like it. Yes, Swan Roundup is perfect. Hey, Michelle, and I think I saw Bobby on here. Hey, Bobby, I love it. Karen Burnett is also here, and Star, I love it. If I missed you, I apologize. Greetings, and for those who watch later, drop me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. How are you all doing? Did you have a good week? I had a pretty good week. I've been getting ready for Trunk Show tomorrow and Nash Yarn Fest next week and dyeing up wholesale orders. It's just been busy, busy, busy. But we have lots of fun things to talk about. So, first of all, I wanted to show you all something new that's going to go in your yarn packages when you place an order online. I think I told you all that we were working on a little project. So, this is inspired by let me see, give you the backstory. There's a bookshop over in Scotland that when we were over there, we visited in Wigton, which is a town full of bookshops. And this bookshop is just called the Bookshop. And I want to say it's like I don't know, is it the second largest bookshop in all of Scotland or something? Anyway, the guy who owns it, Sean, I think his last name is Bithell. That's how you pronounce it. He has written books. They're basically diaries. Diaries of a bookshop owner, I think they're called, and confessions or something like that of a bookshop owner. Anyway, I have all of them at this point because he just has such a great dry sense of humor. And anyway, but one of the things that he talks about is I guess people will send him postcards. I don't think it's anything he started. They just would send him postcards. And I was like, I think that's so cool. So here's what we did. I had Bo design us a postcard. Now, it looks kind of bland. It's not like your typical postcard, but that's because we wanted, most postcards literally like a lot of them are souvenirs. So you get, well, I say, yeah, well, yeah, because you buy them when you're on vacation and then you write someone a little note and literally you get like half the postcard size to write your note and then the address goes on the other. Well, that's not how they have to be designed. So Bo designed us a different one where the address and stamps will go on one side and then the entire back side is for writing. Now, we left the address blank because you don't have to send me a postcard, but I would love for you to send me a postcard. Now, what do you put on it? Well, you can put anything on it. At first, I was thinking that you could tell me how you first started knitting, but some of you have mentioned on here how you do that or how that happened. But if you haven't, then I would love to hear about that. You can complain about some non-knit worthy person in your family if you want to. Technically, postcards don't have to have a return address. So you could even send me an anonymous letter. Make some confession. I don't care. And if I don't know how this is going to go. We've ordered 100 and I've already started putting them in packages. And so we'll see what happens. like I said, you may do with your postcard as you wish. It's not an overly flashy postcard. There is yarn back there, you can see. So you could send it to a friend if you wanted, or you can send one to me, and then the next time you get a package, you can send one to someone else. I'm not keeping track. It's too much trouble to keep track of who got one and who didn't. So I'm just, as orders come in, I'm just going to stick them in there. So for example, everyone who's in the monthly mini color club will get one next week because those are going out. So yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I have no idea how it's going to go. None of you may end up sending me a postcard, which is a darn shame. But all of you may send me postcards. So I may have to buy more. I had to take my slippers off. I was cold earlier, but now I'm getting warm. So yeah, and if it's an especially compelling note that you write me, then I might post it on social media. So just so you know, if you send me a postcard, it might get put on social media. All right. So that is the new thing that's going in everybody's order, at least for the time being. All right. Okay. Hey, Diane, glad you're here. Tish and Lonnie. Yes, thank God it's Friday. We love a Friday, don't we? And I got to tell you, you collect postcards, Michelle. That's awesome. Well, I hope mine is collect worthy. I don't know. Like I said, once we got it, I was like, oh, sorry, it's upside down. I was like, there's not a lot like to look at. I mean, obviously there's yarn back there, but so anyway. Oh, or maybe you mean that you collect them when people send them to you. Interesting. I need to know more about this, Michelle. All right. Moving on, our March Fiber Prize. Okay, so we're getting started on the hats, and I love that. It's got to have some green in it. Don't forget somewhere. And I love that so many of you are knitting muscle burras. I think I'm glad that I finally got on the bandwagon. I will show you mine in a little bit, but I wanted to tell you all first what the prize is going to be for this month's fiber challenge at the end of the month. So I decided, because I couldn't really come up with an idea of what I wanted to give. Although I did come up with something later, but I had already made up my mind that this was going to be the prize. So this is going to be the prize. Do y'all remember how I used to do the mystery whimsies? So I would set up a listing and then you could choose a base and like a main color family. And then I would dye up a certain number of skeins for you in that color family. Well, the winner of the March Fiber Challenge will get to tell me a main color family, and then I will dye up 2 skeins of yarn for them on trusty sock in that color family. So I thought that would be fun. So I don't have anything to show you because it will be a mystery whimsy. So I'll do a post to let everybody else know. Oh, nice. Carol says that her fiber prize comes in today's mail. That's awesome. All right. Oh, okay, Michelle. So when friends travel, you always ask for a postcard. You have postcards from everywhere. I love that. That's very cool. I was thinking it would be neat to make like a book, like you could do like a little punches on the cards and then tie them together and make a little book. I think that would be cool. I'm curious how you store yours. Like in a photo album? Just in a box? How do you store them? That's very interesting to me. All right. Moving on. Tomorrow, I have a trunk show at Crochet Aweigh in Tavares. So the yarn shop, the online yarn shop will be closed. I'll close it first thing in the morning. And then, and then we'll reopen it tomorrow night when we're done. So I'm excited about that. Also, don't forget, a Sunday I wrote down, we already switched to daylight savings time. We spring forward into daylight savings time. So, and I don't know that everybody does. I know there are some states that don't, but here in Florida, we do. So that means that the time, everything will switch to Eastern Daylight Time. So for example, next Friday, I will be on here at 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. And speaking of which, a week from today, I will be at Nash Yarn Fest. I will still do a live because we'll be in Nashville. And I'll be available. So yeah, I'll still do a live. We'll see how the quality goes. But we should have good Wi-Fi where we're at. So yeah, so I'll plan on doing a live next Friday. But anyway, everything from here on out will be on Eastern Daylight Time, including Dying to Knit people when I get back. I'm sure I'll do a post or a live in the group to remind you all anyway. But just to let you know, from here on out, everything is EDT until we switch back off of daylight savings time. So, all right. What? Oh, I said it again. All right. Oh, yes, I completely forgot. Thank you, Laura. I finished my ranunculus, y'all. Dun, dun, dun. It is almost an exact mirror or duplicate of my Cavendish ranunculus, which would make sense because I followed the exact same formula. I wanted it to turn out the same, but I did this one in a Hallmark Holiday. This is the yarn that I have left. A Hallmark Holiday on Swanky Sock, one full skein, and I still had this much left. I could have gone a little bit longer, although I mean, I like the length of this, but anyway, I could have. And then this is all that's left out of 3 skeins of fluffy lace. And actually, that's actually a very good amount. I'd say that's over half the skein left of that one. So I will save these as I always do in case I need to make a repair or I want to make a scrappy project or something like that. But yeah, so this is it. I finished it on, I don't know, Wednesday. Here, let me get down like that. And it's funny because I usually like to pull up my sleeves, but what's interesting about this sleeve is that, and I think it's the same as your sleeve, Laura, on the Rocket Tee, the DK version, where she doesn't have you do any decreases on the sleeve. You just go straight down, but then you decrease right before this pretty I-cord bind off that you do. And yeah, for me, it's perfect because when I pull it up, it stays up. So it's not stretchy or anything like that, but it's just the perfect circumference. So yeah, good stuff. So I finished it, I want to say Wednesday, right before. I seem to finish most of my projects right before bed. So I run out to the dye studio and wet block it and then let it dry overnight. So yeah, it's good stuff. I really like this. And then Morgan noticed it today. I was wearing it and she said, I like your sweater. I said, thanks. And she goes, oh, you should pack both of them when we go to Kentucky. Because if y'all remember, Morgan is going with me to Kentucky in May. And she said, and we can be twins. And I was like, yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to get that ranunculus back. You're not keeping it. Because she likes to abscond with some of my knit items. Most of the time, I don't mind, depending on what it is. I always let her know, you can have that, or no, you cannot have that. And this she cannot have. I love both of my ranunculus sweaters. So, oh, I did not know that, Laura. So it's fitted to the elbow. And then there are increases. Yes, I tell you what, that sleeve, I am obsessed with it. It's gorgeous. I think I need to make one of those just because I love that sleeve so much on the Rocket Tee. And then, yes, an I-cord bind off. Hey, Tracy, glad to see you here. All right, let's see what y'all have been working on, shall we? And I'll be honest, I don't know if I grabbed them all. I think I did, but I have not been on social media much this morning. So if anybody posted last minute pictures, I apologize. All right. And also, for some reason, my video is not showing up on Instagram again. Oh, there it is. I guess I need to refresh. Okay, I was going to say, if anybody's on there, I can't see you. All right. This is Tracy has started a Musselburgh hat, and she's doing it in the narrow margins colorway. I love that. That was one of the one-of-a-kind colorways last week, and it's gorgeous. It may have influenced a colorway that I did for this week, by the way. And wow, that is fast progress, Tracy. I love it. By the way, just be honest, how many of y'all knew how to pronounce Musselburgh properly and how many did not? I'm just curious. Was I the only weirdo who didn't know? All right. And then Bobby posted, she has finished her Lee en bon anniversaire. It looks gorgeous. It looks like, I'm curious with that shaping, Bobby, are those three like 3/4 length sleeves? Or is it just that the sleeves look short because the shoulder is a little bit more rounded up there? Inquiring minds want to know. And then also, Bobby posted a picture of this. This is her dance, and it is on Hallmark Holiday, but I love it because it looks different than mine because she's holding it with a light lilac mohair blend, and it really impacts the look um, of her yarn because she also has a Hallmark Holiday. So whereas mine looks much more pinkish with some of that Cavendish colorway mixed in, this just has a nice lilac or lavender feel to me. I love it. It's awesome. All righty. Lonnie cast on another Fiberfest shawl by Stephen West. If y'all remember, she did the Fiberfest shawl for me in fluffy lace. Well, now she's doing it in fingering weight yarn. She's using sparkly sock, and she's got, let's see, Riddle Me This, a mixed bag, and then her third color will be Mad About You. Ooh, that's going to look so good. Ah, I love it. Lonnie always picks the best colors. Okay, this is Tammy. I think we've seen these in multiple fashions, but she finally posted a picture of all of them. Finished all the socks, and she did specifically mix and match socks, which I love that idea. So that way it doesn't necessarily matter. You could pull the two that are almost, though they are identical, or you could pull the two that are like sister socks. So that's cool. And then she's doing the same thing with this pair out of Merry Grinchmas. I love that. Is it just me, Tammy, or are you getting a little more wild and crazy with your socks? I like it. I like it a lot. All righty. This is Karen. Karen sent me this. This is her Endless Wrap. And she's already done one of these, by the way. She's using Spindle Prick Red on Squishy Worsted. It looks gorgeous. I hope it's okay, Karen, that I stole this and stuck it on here. All right. And then lastly, this is Taylor. I think I showed this sweater to y'all before. Taylor finished her step-by-step sweater. This is her very first sweater. She used a mix of well, it's burnt butter, but she used a mix of Trusty DK and then I think Swanky DK also, because we didn't quite have enough. And she came to, I think it was Distaff Day, she bought that yarn. So she's been sending me updates over on Instagram of her sweater, and she finished it. So it looks good. Good job, Taylor. All right, what else? Let's see. What am I working on? Well, let me show you. Let me go back to the comments first. Let's see. Karen, I love it. I know you knew how to pronounce it, didn't you? Were you here last week, Karen? Was it last week? I was telling them that I always thought it was the Musselburgh hat. And at first I was like, well, I've heard other people say that. And I think I have heard other people say that, but then I thought, well, maybe not. Maybe I just thought it was Musselburgh. Because, that's how we pronounce things over here. But no, it's Musselburgh. So very cool. And Tracy, yes, I'm not surprised. I figured you would pretty much be done at this point. And then Carol, Kevin and Ray on, I probably know who that is, but I it's not coming to me. Went through the Musselburgh pronunciation multiple times. Okay, interesting. And it does. Bobby says the Lee does have 3/4 inch sleeves. Okay, very good. Hey, Liz, glad to see you here. The sad. What is that pronunciation? I'm probably, I'm a little ditzy about this stuff. Yeah, I'm sure you have heard all the pronunciations, Karen. Interesting. Oh, that's funny. Liz says, I think I figured out why Floridians knit so many socks. When I was in Florida a couple weeks ago needing new socks, stores didn't sell them, so you have to make them. That's hilarious. I can find socks here, but you're right. I do know a lot of Floridian knitters who like to knit socks. That's very interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I definitely wear my knit socks. How funny is that? I love it. That's cool. Well, Liz, I guess you better get on it, huh? Make some socks. Okay, let me show you. Well, first of all, let me show you this. So last weekend, I think I told y'all I needed to go to Knitcessities to drop off a yarn order. I may have bought some things. So first of all, I bought this set. This is a Della Q set. These have been around. I've been seeing these for a while now. I don't think they're like brand new, but they come in all sorts of cool colors. This came as a set. Honestly, I wanted this one because I was like, oh, that's perfect for socks. And I always have socks. But this came with it, and it's actually a decent sized bag as well. And I don't hate it. So, and it was red. Hello. It was like calling to me from the shelf, like, Carolyn, look at me, I'm red. So I may have bought that. And then Vanessa also had a brand new shipment of Attenti bags. Check out this bad boy. I love it. And that woolly look to it, it actually has that woolly texture to it. It's so scrumptious. What I love about it is that it's nice and big. And then you know, fold over. And I love a project bag that can sit on its own like that. It doesn't just topple over. So this would be perfect for a sweater, or you could obviously put a smaller project in there. It might end up taking over my Musselburgh hat at some point. But anyway, it's got 4 pockets in there. They always have such nice, excellent fabric and all that. So Vanessa had not even priced this bad boy. And I was like, hey, if you'll put a price on that sucker, I'll buy that too. So I did. And then I came home and showed Bo. And he had a revelation. He said, so every project needs its own bag. Bingo. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. So he's getting it. All right, so let me show you. This is in here. I have my puffle socks that I have cast on. Let me show you the picture again, the puffle socks. I'm making the leg a little bit longer because I'm making it for my sister-in-law, Susan, and she lives in Ohio. So I cast on with Bodacious on the cuff. I was knitting outside, and apparently I brought some grass in with me. And so, yeah, so that's Bodacious up there. And then for the body of this one, I am intermingling Gnarly with Fat Tuesday. Hubba hubba. So, and I will obviously have plenty of Fat Tuesday. That yarn cake is heavy. I will have plenty of Fat Tuesday left. So here, look at that Fat Tuesday in there. It's kind of doing a little bit of faux self-striping. So I think that would make a very cool sock all on its own, wouldn't it? I like it. I messed up a couple of times. I don't know what's going on with me this week. And I had to tink back a couple of rows at one point, because here's what I like about this pattern is that it's simple enough that it's easy to remember once you get going. However, it's varied enough that you're not just knitting a plain vanilla sock. So if you get bored with those, now, I love me a good vanilla sock, but sometimes, it's nice to have a little bit of interest. And so the front of this sock, you've got those puffles. So you've got reverse stockinette going on there. And, yes, Bobby. And ideally, the bag matches the project. That's true. Mine does not in this case, as you can see, but it's also because it's a new bag and I just needed to use it. I have to say, sometimes my bags, more often than not, my bags don't match. I kind of tend to pick bags based on either the season or just the mood that I'm in, honestly. So I'm bad about that, I will say. All right, so that's my puffle socks. And yes, that's right. You need that would be even better, a project bag for every single skein. Karen, that brand is Delaque. I'm sorry, I thought I mentioned that. So here you see it, Delaque. They have lots of fun notions and things like that. And Vanessa is really good about stocking their stuff at Necessities. So let's see. Make sure I didn't miss any. Liz, not a sock fan. I didn't think that you were. I know the executive producer is getting out of line. Come on. All right. So, oh, you're not that far, Tracy, but you are ready to start. It's pretty far. You're farther than I am. So I'm going to show you where I'm at. And so I'm going to show you one of them is a brand new colorway named for Bo. I told you all that he hijacked my Musselburgh hat project, and he wants a Musselburgh hat for himself to match some green jackets that he has. So I've started. This is my very first one, and I just I could have measured for gauge a couple rows back, but I just did it a little bit ago. I wanted to make sure I had plenty of room to measure, and so yeah, so I did. So this is how far I've gotten. Just since I think yesterday and today, is that right? I think. And so I will say this, the disappearing loop cast on that's mentioned in the pattern, I know of as the pinhole cast on. When I saw it being done, I was like, oh, that's, and I don't know if they're, I don't know if somebody just renamed it. The pinhole cast on that I saw, or where I learned of it, was on a tin can knits pattern back during Christmas in July when we were doing a snowflake pattern, and they call it a pinhole cast on, but it's essentially the same thing as the disappearing loop. So that's what I used, and I started out on DPNs, of course, and yeah, it was fiddly, but it's fiddly for like 2 rows. You know what I mean? So you've got your fiddly 5 minutes, and then you're on and done. And I just switched over to my shorties, and I'll keep it on here until I'm ready to switch over to my hat needles. But I'm really enjoying it. So this colorway, by the way, is Executive Producer, and that I named for Bo. So here it is wound up, and that's new in the shop. I'll show you. I've got it. Let me make sure I get the right ones, because I did 2 new greens for y'all and for Bo. I mean, let's be honest. So make sure I grab the right one. So this is it in a skein on Trusty Sock, which is what I'm using for the Musselburgh hat. And then I also put it on Fluffy Sock. You can see it definitely toned it down a lot on Fluffy Sock and Fluffy Lace. But there you have it. So that's Executive Producer. I love that. And then the other green, so that will be 1/2 of Bo's hat is Executive Producer. And he doesn't want the folded brim. So I think all I have to do is literally knit half of the hat in one colorway. And then the other half will be in this, which is Gretna Green. It's very similar. But Executive Producer, I complemented the dark greens with a dark silver, and Gretna Green, I poured in a deep dark brown, which at first I was like, oh, I don't know. But I actually think that one might be my favorite. So here it is in a skein. Did I not bring it on? I may have not brought it on Fluffy Lace. Here it is on Trusty Sock. You can see it's definitely deeper and moodier. And yeah, there it is on Fluffy. And again, it definitely is toned down on the alpaca. It really mutes those colors. So Valera, neither on DK. I don't remember. Did I do those on DK? I don't think I did. I can. You know I can. But I may not have done any on DK yet. So, but those are the 2 new greens that are in the shop. And then also in the shop, I have another project I want to show y'all. But in the shop, I brought back the pastel set that I have done. So this started out many, many moons ago. I had a customer who wanted a special order, and she wanted like Easter egg colors, like a range of pastel colors. And I came up, actually, it was very similar to this. The violet color has kind of changed various times, but the rest of them are pretty much all the same. There's bunny, and then tulips in bloom, chicky, lily, birds of a feather, and then heliotrope is what I did this time. So I did these. I only have them on 2 bases to show you, but I did these on, let's see, I did them on fluffy lace. So if you want lace weight, I did them on a fluffy sock, which is gorgeous, as always. I did it on trusty sock, which is your merino nylon, and then trusty DK, which is also merino nylon, but on the DK version. So there's Bunny in the full skein. And then, of course, here they are. This is tulips in bloom. And this is the trusty sock and the fluffy sock. And Morgan, when she saw the picture, she was like, "Ooh, I like it on fluffy sock the best." I was like, yeah, that's where it looks the prettiest. It's because it's got silk in it. You know, it's that alpaca and silk, and it's got a nice sheen to it. So here's Chicky on fluffy or trusty sock, sorry. And then on fluffy sock also. What a gorgeous pastel yellow. And then here, the same 2 bases with Lily. It's a beautiful pastel aquamarine. There's trusty sock and fluffy sock. Love that. I feel like these are just begging to be put into a color block project. So here is Birds of a Feather on trusty sock and then fluffy sock. Again, muted, but then you've got some deeper areas where it really shines through. And then heliotrope, here it is. Trusty sock and fluffy sock. How awesome is that? I like it. All right. Hey, Karen, late to the party. Sorry about that. I hate the network problems. All right. And then, yes, all the colors of Marshmallow Peeps. Yeah. So definitely you've got an Easter spring vibe going on there for sure. So that is what is in the shop. The other project that I have not cast on yet, but I did a post about this in the Swan City Stitchers. I want to knit this hat. Speaking of tin can knits, it's called It's a Snap. And they actually call, so apparently I love all the finished projects that you can see pictures of on Ravelry. And then they even show, look at all those different combinations, because basically they call for 4 fingering weight yarns. Yeah, we held 4 strands of sock weight yarn together to make a chunky fabric and a marled effect, which is what I love. But you can, and they say you can achieve the same thing. You can do 1 DK skein plus 2 sock weights. That makes sense if you think about it. Two fingerings together equal DK typically. So you could do 2 sock weights with a DK would give you the equivalent of 4 sock weights. What I'm going to do, let's see here. You could do, they also give you, hang on. They give you other options. You could do 2 lace weight plus 1 sock weight plus a DK or a worsted weight. That's a lot to think about. Or you could do 3 to 4 lace weights with 2 sock weights. Ooh. That would create a very dense fabric, I would think. But I do like the idea of using lace weight. What I'm going to do, because they call for 4 sock weights, I'm going to take this set of the Fun and Festive minis on Trusty DK, which, by the way, is all that I have in the shop right now is the Trusty DK. But I'm going to hold 2 strands together of various combinations and see what I get. So, and it looks like it'll be a super fast knit, so I'm excited. I might have to make multiples of those. And plus they'll be bright and fun. So I love that. And that makes me remember, gotta remember this. So speaking of the pastel mini set, not just the mini sets, the pastel colors all together. Vanessa at Knitcessities will be getting an order of them on Tuesday, and she's getting them on Swanky Sock. So I don't have any Swanky Sock of the pastel colors in the online shop, but she will on Tuesday. She will also be getting more of the fun and festive mini sets on Trusty Sock. And she will also be getting some of the spring pastel mini sets on Trusty Sock as well. Because I did the minis on Trusty Sock and Trusty DK, but she's getting them on Trusty Sock. So you'll have options. Okay. So Laura, you said, is it Melissa Liebman? Not unless she's associated with Tin Can Knits, because this says Tin Can Knits up here. Maybe she did one similar. Is that possible? I mean, if you think about it, it doesn't look like it's not like it's all that difficult. It looks to me like a reverse stockinette, which I'm curious. Yeah, they have you knit it inside out. And once the knitting is complete, you simply turn the hat so that the reverse stockinette or the purl side is out. So I suppose if you do things right, you could have just a reversible hat, unless you put a pom-pom on it, and then, you know, you're kind of stuck. So, but I like the look of it with the purl side out. So yeah, it's very cool. Okay, so it is a different one. Yes, I agree. Marling is so much fun, which is why I'm excited to make a hat. But first, I've got to make some progress. So these socks, I don't know if I told you all, the puffle socks are for my sister-in-law, Susan, who lives in Ohio, and her birthday is April 4th. So I want to get these done, which should not take any time. I'm hoping to get to the heel on Sunday. I will spend some time, since it'll be my first time doing a shadow wrap heel. So I'm going to spend some time on Sunday working on that. And yeah, and then who knows, since we're going to Nashville and Bo tends to do most of the driving, I should get plenty of knitting time. And both the puffle socks and the Musselburgh hat are pretty simple knitting. So I should get all sorts of knitting done. But I'd like to, you know me, I get anxiety if I have too many whips going on. So I'll wait until I get done or almost done with one of those before I cast on It's a Snap. So what else? Have I forgotten anything? I don't think I have. Tomorrow is my trunk show. If you're local, I hope you can come. And Nash Yarn Fest next week. I'm super excited to see those of you that are coming to that. And April 5th will be my trunk show at She Sells Yarn. Everything further out from that is on the website. If you just scroll down to the bottom, then you'll see the dates. I'll be in Georgia. I'll be in Kentucky. And where else? Oh, Charlotte, North Carolina, way out in August as well. So in Ravelry, yours is just called Snap. Interesting, Laura says. Huh. Oh, maybe that's why. So like when you look up here, it's is kind of in the lowercase. So, but that's odd. I'm surprised that they did that. Interesting. And I don't even remember where I found this. Oh, I bet I found it in one of their emails. That might have been it. I think I saw it. Oh yeah, because down here it says Snap Hat. So you're right. I bet it's just called Snap. But it is kind of confusing that up there they said It's a Snap. Interesting. Very, very enticing. All right. I think that's all I have. It feels like today went by fast. Don't forget, change your clocks Sunday, not tomorrow, Sunday. And yeah, I'll be sending out postcards. So my address is right on the website at the bottom of the page. So you can get it there. And yeah, if I missed anything, I'm sorry. I will do a post and yeah, try and behave yourself. We didn't even talk about the weather. Is y'all's weather good? I know Tish said it started snowing. We are having the best weather here in Florida. Like if you just for a few, if you've never been to Florida and you want to come, this time of year is the ideal time. March and April to me are the best. We get hot spells, yes, but these are the months where there's almost like a continuous breeze that you just don't get the rest of the year. Like, if you get a windy day, yeah, but this time of year, for some reason, there's just almost always a continual beautiful breeze. We definitely don't get it during the summer, I'll tell you that much. Yay, Barbara will see me on Thursday. She'll be the one in the red Swan City Yarn shirt. I am excited. When will shirts be available? Karen, I thought you ordered some shirts. Did I miss that? Or was it somebody else? So I have shirts on the website. I don't want to answer the wrong question. I'm not sure what that means. I do have shirts on the website. So if anybody's looking for some, there's some with the Swan City Yarns logo, and then there are some that are related to knitting that Bo designed. Like, I read and I knit. That's what I do. I drink coffee and I knit. And then I think there's one for I drink tea and I knit. So those are cool. Those are on the website under merch. I think it's called just merchandise. You can find, there's even a coffee cup that's a double-sided coffee cup with, you want my logo to drink coffee. I'm just kidding. Okay. So Karen, yes, your shirts were pushed through this morning and are currently in production. And I think those go out pretty quick. I think they have a pretty quick turnaround. So Liz, you're cold. I'm sorry. Oh, it's going to hit 70. That's pretty good, right? Yeah, it was chilly when you were here, Liz. Definitely. We had some chilly weather. All right. The sky is blue. That's good, Tish. Okay. Ooh, that's a lot. Y'all be safe. All right. Yeah, Liz, check out the shirts for sure. And yeah, okay. So Barbara says she ordered her Swan City shirt last Friday and got it yesterday, which would have been Thursday. So it took about a week, just under. So very good. Yeah, I thought they're pretty quick about that. So yeah. All right, everybody. Listen, if you don't have plans to be out and about this weekend, I suggest you get some because, well, unless you're Tish, then Tish, you just stay inside and be warm. But everybody else, if you have decent weather at all, then I hope that you'll get out and about, do some knitting and crocheting in other places and enjoy the fabulous weather. And thank you all so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you all next week and hopefully some of you in person next week. And yeah, try and behave yourselves and have a great week. And we'll talk next time. All right. Bye, everybody.